Hey everyone. Hi Gemini. Alright, so welcome to Opal Oracle if you are new. And if you are returning, hi there. Now, alright, I'm doing the same spread I did for October. Your card is actually on the bottom of the deck. Wonderful. I also chose one card from the Mary L. Tarot in relation to the Venus retrograde transit that's going to happen. Okay, hold on, I'm putting a little thing to look at, so I look at the camera right now. I'm very good at that. Anyway, you received the Fool. Powerful. Good. Let me write that down for you. And then now until it completely comes out of its shadow, which is January 9th, I believe, we'll just kind of see what happens. Because you have a major arcana and they're butterflies, it's this card specifically shows me that it depends which dragon you feed to what you receive, right? Which angel you feed to which side of you feed to determine what it is that you will achieve, right? Now, I see what you want is to get somewhere, for something to just a second. I see that you really want to be more vulnerable to, like, but not where you're in a weak positioning, you know. Because what is healing and growing? I guess it's that process, but it is also about, because we don't live under a rock in the middle of nowhere, right? Then it's kind of like, well, how do we incorporate other people into our process of whatever it is that we're learning about, that we're expanding in? Right? How do we let other people help us? And I see that what you want is to actually get your mindset in a way, working in such a way that is in accordance to being more open to others' help, and also because you do kind of want to rush something. But the thing is what you need is the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Which shows me that you need to know that some things are just the way that they are, because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what you need to know. You need to remember that. I just keep hearing patience, patience. What's helping you is the Eight of Pentacles. Awesome. What's hindering you is the Page of Swords. I see this as your inner child. And just like your mind kind of distracting you from what it is that you need to do. Like you're focused, right? This is what's helping. Whatever it is that you've been going on, whatever it is that you've been working on, like all the effort and time that you've been putting into something, the diligence, the determination, the detail. But then the page, the inner child's like, I want to know all the answers right now. I want to know what the 10's going to look like. When are we going to get to the 10? When it's like the kid in the back seat, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? But what that's doing is actually distracting you from what's helping you, and what's helping you is for you to keep focus, okay, on the long-term goal. And knowing that, like, if you, it's kind of that saying of, like, keep your nose to the grindstone, like, keep focus on what is it that you're already doing that's successful for you, right? And then knowing that you, well, there's no, it's kind of like if you play pool by yourself, right? You play billiards by yourself. What happens? Well, you always win, right? Because there is no losing, technically. Even if you're playing against someone else, even if you're playing with someone else, there's technically, I mean, I'm not into the whole, like, every child's a winner. It's like, no, if you didn't put in the effort, then no, you don't get the prize. But knowing that the prize is not the point of the story, it's the work that is taken to be able to get to that point, to be able to even participate. You know what I mean? Like as an example, my sister decided, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, was like, I want to participate in a triathlon. She wanted to do that, where you, like, bike and run and swim. And she was pretty healthy to begin with, took care of herself, whatever. But she had to really work at all those different parts, like, work on herself, work on her determination of the situation, building up the momentum, the stabilizing parts of herself so that she could actually participate. No, she didn't get first, but it felt awesome. She was super proud of herself because she put in that effort. Because, again, it wasn't about, like, winning, like, oh, I'm going to practice all this time just so I can get to the end point and then I win. Well, what happens after you win? Well, you got to start a whole new thing again. And this is what life is, right? It's this constant cycle of this, and it can be in really big, in ways of, you know, more grandiose examples, or something that's more minimal. You know, do you want milk in your coffee or not? You know? I see that it's important for you to not become distracted either. I don't know if I specifically said that, but that's important. Okay? Don't be distracted by the end goal, because I think that's also what this is with your want. You're like, I just want to make it to shore. I just want to get out of this feeling. I want to get out of this mindset. I just want to get out of here. But the Six of Swords is kind of, you know, generally you, in your reading, a person's reading this as the card, well, that's you down here. It's usually not this person at all. This is a person that helps the people get out of whatever it is that they're stuck in. Okay? Of course, it could be both and or, but a lot of times this can also be like, I didn't really ask for this, but you have to do it. You know? Maybe you're moving into another realm, like inside of another room into your mind that you didn't know that you had, or a room that you just haven't attended to. It's like an attic or something, you know, where you have to do some house cleaning. You know, you gotta, like, oil the machine somehow. And what is a well-oiled machine? Well, that's a machine that's something that you pay attention to. all the moving parts of it, right? You have to know how something works. This is also, I'm seeing it as right now also as like trying to become an expert of something, right? An expert, technically, I don't think there's any master of anything. It's a lifelong process, but it's something like 25,000 hours, somebody said once. But I think that is, on average, if you break it down, like 8 hours a day, I think it's about 30 years. So if you think that you're trying to figure something out, like, oh, I want to just get there tomorrow, you know, can't you row any faster? I heard, can't you row any faster, God? But that's silly. You can't, you know, just be great. Right now, it's also, and everyone's sort of been receiving this, and maybe it's just because it's Libra season, and a lot of Libra kind of aspects are connected to Scorpio, which is very serious. Oh, it's okay. Sorry. Good girls in me. You do need to take your work seriously, though. That's what's helping you, too, is taking your work seriously. Because you're an air sign, and this is what's hindering you also, this little page. If it was in a helping position, this is awesome, but it's in the hindrance, which is a person that is, it shows a level of immaturity in a way. But I don't necessarily, because you're communicative, it could be something about maybe during this time there could be the way that you communicate could have a hindrance, right? Like even right there, I couldn't get it out, and usually it's very easy for you, because it's a page also, it's about learning, right? It's very early in the stages of something. So don't let your, I heard again, don't let your mind, understand if it's that inner child that's trying to rush you, okay? That also the inner child, if it's scared of anything, right? Because you have, I heard you have 2 opportunities here. And there's no need for you to be foolish in doing something that you already know better about, okay? Your overall, like, outcome, if you will, is the Hanged Man, which is... I actually want one more card on that. I mean, obviously, it's about trying to look at a situation differently. It's about maturity. It's about patience. It can be about enlightenment. 8 of Cups. Cancer also received this in this position. Ace of Swords on the bottom. Good. I sense that everything's good, you know, but there's still something underlying that makes you feel like you want to hurry something up, and you're sort of afraid to step forward because you know that you can't actually take any action towards something right now, even though the overarching energy is that you want to. You want something. Again, I heard to hurry up. You can't hurry the Hangman. You can't hurry the 6 of Swords. You can't hurry. You cannot hurry the Wheel of Fortune. And you can't hurry your mastery in something, your knowledge in something. It takes time, right? We have Saturn and Capricorn. It's about time. You know, some lessons we only learn through time. There's no other way to learn it. That's why it usually doesn't make sense if we try to date someone that's like significantly younger than us, right? Or not that we can't relate in some ways. Of course, we can learn from anything, but there's something about that where, you know, there's just only certain things you can learn, people can learn through time. It doesn't matter how many books you read. It doesn't matter how many movies you watch about it. It doesn't matter how many classes you take. It just has to be the accumulation of all these things to be able to put you in a position of knowing what it is that you're really doing, right? I also see that your day-to-day, what's helping you is keeping your day-to-day life organized, right? Like knowing how much time you spend doing what, you know, maybe for some of you, because I know that this, you know, I personally don't partake in this because I find that it takes up too much of my time, but like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media situation, even just watching YouTube too much. And we've talked about this for the last few months specifically for everyone, but just like, and I don't want it to sound in a hypocritical way because I'm obviously producing these videos. It's just where, you know, whoever finds this, the message is to know how much time you spend on those things, right? If you do participate in that, because you also have to account for, well, taking care of yourself, like basic things like taking a shower, brushing your teeth, doing your hair, whatever, getting dressed. You like to socialize, right? You know, going to work, taking care of whatever it is you need to take care of, others, yourself, you know, never mind having fun in relation to that, and healing, plus whatever else you have to do, you know. So just kind of making sure that you know what you're spending your time on, and know that even if it seems tedious, like, don't give up, because it wants you to see how, like, are you able to keep yourself well, I heard undistracted, but like, I guess you're learning about your distractions too. Okay? Everyone's been sort of receiving this too for a couple months now. There's probably something astrological going to happen in December. That's a big deal because it's been coming for quite a few months now, like 2 or 3 months. But wherever it is that you're sort of stuck, wherever it is that you feel like you gotta wait for something and you know that, I see November into December, you're moving away from whatever it is that you're kind of stuck about, right? Maybe you become close to the shore, or maybe you finally stop keeping your head down and being like, I just wish this was over, and picking your head up and looking at the scenery, right? Or turning around and asking if they want to, I don't know, like, I heard, you know, why isn't she like, do you want me to row for a little while? You know, like changing roles about something too. Like sharing the load. There's something about that. Okay. All right, let's choose from the Warrior of Light. My homegirl Danielle got me this book. It's the same guy who wrote The Alchemist. It's a really beautiful book. I didn't even know it existed. I'm very happy. It feels good too. It's soft. All right, Gemini. Interesting. Cancer got this also, and we mentioned Cancer, so there's something that you can learn from them, okay? It says, a warrior of the light is reliable. He makes few mistakes. He sometimes thinks he is more important than he really is, but he does not lie. When people gather around the fire, he talks to his friends, male and female. He knows that his words are stored in the memory of the universe, like a testimony of what he thinks. The warrior asks himself, why do I talk so much, when I am often incapable of carrying out everything that I say? And I see this card too, like, it's when they say actions speak louder than words, right? Because you can say, like, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that, da-da-da-da-da, this is going to be the future, but it doesn't mean shit unless it's proven in the physical world. Because if you don't follow through with it, whether it's big or small, it can actually make people distrust you. I also feel the need to share this. Like, I found out that it's a psychological fact, if you will, where if someone talks about, like, oh, I'm gonna write a book. Like, I'm gonna write this novel. It's gonna be about this. These are all the characters, da-da-da-da-da. Like, you know, and then everyone's like, wow, that's a really great idea. Yes, you should totally do that. What it does is it actually triggers, it sets off chemicals in your mind to make you think that you already achieved it. And so you don't put forth as much effort, right? Because other people are like, oh, great, like I said, great idea. And it kind of distracts the action attached to that. So something about that. Now I feel the need to read this again. It says, the warrior asks himself, why do I talk so much when often I am incapable of carrying out everything that I say? His heart replies, when you defend your ideas in public, you then have to make an effort to live accordingly. It is because he believes that he is what he says he is that makes the warrior end up becoming precisely that. Right? You have to believe it first. You have to believe and know that it'll happen, that you'll get there, that everything is happening as it should, and you continue to do what it is that you need to do every day without getting distracted too much, because that's the most adult thing to do. Right? Like, only a kid is like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? It's like, you can only go so fast. You know? So I heard, don't have such high expectations in yourself either, where you end up putting yourself in a position of not being able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Because you're an air sign too, right? You're going to communicate things out loud. That's how you guys function. You know, you work out your feelings through talking. Most people, humans, regardless of sign, work out their thought, what they're thinking about, out loud through their mouth. We're not in the silent generation anymore, right? So, but how well do you do by keeping things inside? Right? I heard, can you just button your lip and keep at it? Or is your function to have to communicate something to be able to get something done? And why is that? Interesting. Very interesting. All right, Gemini. I hope this was of help, of service to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone and all their wonderful support. It's quite an exciting journey. Life, you know. Sometimes it can be scary, you know. We don't know what's going on, but that doesn't mean that you know, how many butterflies are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. His shoes are butterflies. 5, 6. All the transformation, right? How many times have you changed your person? There's the 6 of Swords also. You know, how many times have you had to overcome some sort of darkness in your life? Don't be afraid. If something new is happening again, that's just life. Right? All right. Love ya. Peace.